What we might expect from the Fine Gael or Deis, given the attention on Simon Harris as the new leader of that party and prospective Taoiseach, given the number of independents he's round up for security when that vote happens on Tuesday.
What I expect is more of the same. The man has sat at the cabinet table for 8 years. In that time, homelessness has increased to beyond record levels. The cost of housing has gone up. The number of people in emergency accommodation is spiralling. Rents are out of control. And we have a situation where we've an incoming Taoiseach, of course, with the support of the independents who will line up. They'll have to face their own electorate, by the way. That's their own business. But we have an incoming Taoiseach who is, what do we know, was it 10, 11 days since he was appointed by the Fine Gael party without competition. So we have this man coming into the job. He hasn't uttered a word on housing. And yet I will go from this studio to my clinic in Balbriggan and my clinic in Swords this afternoon. And I know, because I have a brief on the cases that I'm going to, most of the cases I'm going to see, that the vast majority of those are housing.
However,
so it's very disturbing that he doesn't seem in any way interested or concerned.
You wouldn't expect him to steal his own thunder. You know, if he's got things to say, there's no point in saying them five times and then lose your big moment.
Come here and I tell you, this is not about his big moment, right? And that is where
for him
I think
it is.
He is making a fundamental mistake if that's what he thinks this is about. This needs to be about a reset, and that is why we think that now is the time for a general election. Let the people have their say.
We have a fairly ambitious programme for government. OK, we're into the last leg, if you like, of government, clearly. But the priorities are there. Nobody can venture too far away from those.
Look, I don't know if he could possibly tear up the Housing for All scheme at this stage. Do you know what I mean? But he does have to come out pretty clear, as Louise is saying, on housing. He did mention that it is one of the biggest challenges that this government has to face. But whether he's going to have any sort of room to reset that policy or make any real changes.
To be fair to that, like Christina, he mentioned that this is a big challenge. I mean,
well, it has
the
been
TikTok Taoiseach, the minister, for stating the blindingly obvious, like it should be. But what we haven't heard from him is any concern, any plans, any intention to actually tackle this issue. And that is the reason, this government is so far out of touch, out of ideas, and they really are out of time. That's why we think now is the time for a general election, not another shuffling around. We do need, I fully agree, we need a reset, but that's not going to come with this government. On the one hand, he might like to talk a good game, and at his own Ardesh, he's perfectly entitled to do that, and I'm sure they will absolutely love what he has to say. But really, on the nuts and bolts issues, they are failing to get the basics right.
Look, the housing situation is still priority, number one priority. Nobody likes to see anyone getting evicted. Nobody likes to see the numbers of homelessness numbers going up. And the way to deal with that is to make more homes available for buying, for renting, more homes available that are affordable to people. And we're building more homes last year than we ever built before. We've got more cost rental units available last year than ever before. And we're going to continue on that, guys, for this year. And look, we need to do more. I think everyone is clear on that. We need to deliver more homes.
I think Simon Harris understands that, Sinn Fein housing is the one issue that they've been absolutely hammering the government on in terms of, the failings that we've seen over the last decade from successive governments. I think if Simon Harris is coming in here and looking for a reset, it's the urgency that needs to be there, and that's what people have been calling for a long time, that COVID-style emergency, all hands on deck in terms of getting housing initiatives off the ground and not just, tinkering around the edges. And I think if he tries to achieve that over the next 12 months, we'll see how he gets on.
Yeah, but they've been in government for 13 years, though. I mean, that's the fundamental point. Fine Gael have led 13 years of government with the support and otherwise of other parties, the Greens included.
But one of the challenges around this is also the planning system, and we know we're overhauling that, and it's a massive piece of legislation. I mean, Sinn Féin actually went out of their way to delay that process.
No, we went out of our way to ensure that the planning bill was amended to make it fit for purpose.
You went out of your way to remove people off committees, so every vote took 8 to 10 minutes. Now, I know that has improved since, which is welcome, but those issues, we've housing developments caught up in the planning system. There's a multitude of reasons why there are challenges, and that's what we're trying to address.